Well, hi folks. I think what I'm going to do this year, I'm going to try and get some seeds from my biggest onions I grew this year. So that was actually bigger than the one that you saw me take. That actually weighed about £10 5 ounces, and that's a much nicer shape than the first one you saw me pull, which was my first ever 10 pounder, which is that one, which as you can see is a really flat shape. So I've got another one, if you can see behind, about the same shape as that, but I'm going to put 2 of these onions to seed now. Well, not now. I'll just try and explain, and with a few pictures, just sort of explain how easy it is and what the procedure is. Basically, the hardest thing about trying to put these to seed is to try and keep these from going rotten before you actually put them to seed, and whilst they're growing the seeds and things. So what I'll do with this now, I'll just store it at home in a cool, dry place until about the middle of December. And then what I'll do in the middle of December is I'll just plant this in about a 20 litre pot, basically just sit it on a pot of compost like so, and then by about, I would say, January, it should start growing a few leaves. I'll try and put a few pictures up now. So like I said, in January it should start sprouting lots of leaves. The roots will come out of the bottom into the pot, into the soil, and then the leaves will come. Now you want to keep it frost free. I actually just grow it in front of a window in my house. But if you have a frost-free greenhouse, that's perfect. So like I said, it'll start shooting out loads and loads of leaves, like so in the picture. And then you just keep it growing like that, and then by about sort of April time, it should start to send out a few seed heads. You'll see the onions split into a few different sort of growing tips, because the onions turned into about 3 or 4 onions, and then from each one of those will be a sort of a baby flower head spike that'll start coming up. Like I say, I'll try and put some pictures onto that. And then all you do from there on is just keep it growing. So that's April when they first start. Get to about June and they should be about getting on for about 6 foot tall, these flower heads. Just keep them well watered and well fed. And then by about July time, late June, July time, the flower head should open into a nice big flower. And then all it is a matter of doing then is just, like I said, keeping them well fed, well watered, and let the bees do all the work, because you want to try and get the bees to pollinate them. They're the ideal things. Bumblebees especially, they'll just hop all around the flowers. And like I said, if you've got 2 different onions, you get a nice cross pollination, so you're not like sort of interbreeding by itself sort of thing, having an inbred thing. So then all you do is then, like I said, let the bees pollinate them, and then by about, it'll probably take about another couple of months for the seeds to ripen up, and then come about September time, you'll see the little black seeds appearing in where the flowers used to be, and you get about 6 seeds per flower head. So if you think that there's probably about 200 or 300 flowers on each flower head, little flowerlets, you can get maybe 2,000 seeds a head off one of these onions. So when it comes to September, once they start going black, that's about the right time to start harvesting them. You can either harvest them on the plant, or you can cut the flower stalk off if you've got plenty of black seeds appearing, let it dry off at home, and then collect the seeds. Or if you want to let it keep growing, you can put some fine mesh or netting around the head with the seeds in, so that because they will start dropping out, so they don't all drop on the floor, and you can collect them. But apart from that, it couldn't be easy to do the seed, to make your own seed. And then what you do with the seed then, just dry it out, get all the chaff and bits out of it, dry it out, put it in an envelope, store it somewhere dry, and it should last maybe, I've had seed 5 or 6 years old that's still been viable, and then you can say you've got your own seed. So like I said, it couldn't be easy. The hardest thing with these big ones is to stop them going mouldy in the process. If they do start going mouldy when they're growing, you can actually just peel the mouldy skins back. It doesn't matter, as long as they're growing into the soil and they're still growing happily, you can strip them back to virtually nothing, and they'll still produce the seed heads and the seed. So that's it. I'm going to put 2 of these onions together, both over £10. Well, no, sorry, this was £10 5 and the other one was just short of £10. So we should get some, hopefully by next year, some £10 onion seeds that I can give away in some of the competitions and stuff. But that's it. That's how I grow or produce my old onion seed, exactly the same way as I used to do it from each exhibition show stuff. But I'm just going to give it a go with a giant one this year. So that's about it, folks. If you fancy having a do, if you get a nice onion yourself, just give it a go. See you later.